everybody, welcome back to the latest video. This is my birth and delivery story of my little daughter Astrid Ann. So I'm just gonna, she's looking at herself in the mirror, so, oh, you look really happy. Oh, pretty girl, what's wrong, hey? What's wrong? What's the matter? Should we sit this way? Now you can have a look. I'm just going to go really quickly through it because I know that people can often feel like it's carrying on, and I have a tendency to prattle on. Oh, headbutt. So, around 36 weeks I started getting pains down my back my right leg, sharp pains. I am not sure whether it was pelvic girdle pain or whether it was getting the sciatica nerve, but either way it wasn't very comfortable. So at around 39 and a half weeks, once we'd had the house sorted, do you want to do Dee? No. Okay. I went and had a stretch and sweep because that kind of helped me along last time with my son. I went into labour the following day. Excuse me, sorry, bless me. And when they went in, they said it was about 2 centimetres. It was soft, but that was it really. And I didn't get anything for 48 hours, so they said come back if you haven't gone into labour. So they were going to do another one. So that's what I did. 48 hours later, I came back for another one. And when I was having that one, she was like, "You're a good 3 or 4." She did another stretch and sweep, and then she's like, "I wouldn't be surprised if you're back this evening." And I was like, okay. And then before I left, she said, "Why don't you just go for a little bit of a walk around the hospital and see if you can get things going now that I've done that." And we thought, okay, no, I say. She's looking at everything but the camera. Let me see, Meow. Let me see, Meow, Meow. So we walked around for about half an hour, but the pain was uncomfortable in the back of my leg when I walk. I mean, it's fine generally when I'm sitting down and that sort of thing, but it's when I walk, it just kind of like gets caught and just was shooting sharp pains. So nothing was happening, and we left. So they just said, "We'll probably see you later tonight." And I was like, "Great, perfect." Nope, that didn't happen. So we waited another 3, maybe 4 days, and because I'd gone from 2 to 3, sort of 4 centimetres, I thought, well, if she's done another one, I'd hate to think that I was like 5 or 6. And we lived half an hour on a good run away from the hospital, and I dilated quite quickly with my son as well, and it wasn't until I had the epidural that things slowed down with him. So I just wanted to know how dilated I was. So I went in and they were like, "Oh, we don't just do checks." And I said, "Well, look, realistically," I said, "if I'm really dilated," I said, "I need to make sure that I'm not far from the hospital at any point in time, and that my husband can be around and not go to work, because otherwise he's got to travel half an hour home, and then we've got to travel half an hour into town, and that would have been probably not very good." So as they checked me, I was still 4, and they did another stretch and sweep anyway because they were there. And yeah, so I think it must have been at around the 40-hour mark after that. It was midnight or half past midnight, and I had one, well, I went to the bathroom and then I came back to bed, and as I was lying down in bed, I had a contraction. And I mean, I've been having contractions for days and days, and some were regular, some were not, but nothing that was convincing me that I was in labour. But this time, this one contraction that I had, I did have back pain with it, which is what I had with Wyatt. So I thought, we could be on here, and I thought, well, it's only half past midnight, we went to bed at 10, I'll see if I can leave Aaron as long as possible, because obviously if we were going to be awake for a while, I wanted him to be rested. So I had another contraction about 5 minutes later, and same back pain, and in the middle of this one I thought, no, this is too uncomfortable. So I'm waking him up in the middle of this contraction. I'm going, Aaron. But I was trying to concentrate on my breathing as well, because I was actually really struggling. So eventually he woke up and we were like, yep, right, go. We had everything already in the car. I just needed to get my water bottle and like a phone charger and that sort of thing. And so we were out the door within 5 minutes. Aaron's parents were kind enough to stay with us to look after Wyatt. So we just let them know that we were going, and we left the house at about 12:50, I think. Because it was 12:50 a.m. we had no traffic going to the hospital, so we managed to get there in about 20 minutes, which was super lucky, because I then said, we got to the door, and I said, right, I'm going to wait for this contraction to finish, and then I'm racing through the door to the triage section because I don't want to be contracting as I'm walking in. So that happened. I ran basically through to the other side and got to the desk, and bloody lady's going, so is this still your address? Is this still your next of kin? Is this still your Medicare details? And I'm like, can you hurry up? Like, I am going to have a baby. And I hadn't contracted again yet since the car, and then all of a sudden I had one. And she was like, all right, just breathe through that. And then I had another one 1 minute later, and she was like, okay, I'm just going to go get a midwife. And I was like, great idea. So we got a midwife. I was pretty much knickers straight off, didn't even wait for anybody to tell me what to do. I was just like, knickers off, just like check me, because I know that we're in serious strife here. And I was a good 8-9 centimeters, and I was like, great. And they said, do you want to walk to birth suite, or would you like us to push you? And I was like, oh no, you can push me, because last time with Wyatt I walked and I had about 3 contractions in the hallway, which were just agony. So I just wanted to get there. And we got there, and I'm going, I need an epidural, because obviously I'd had no pain relief, no Gassner, no Panadol, nothing, and I don't really think I needed the epidural, but when you're in transition, which is what I was, that's all that goes through your mind, just getting rid of that pain. So she's going, oh look, I think they might be in, theatre with another case. And I was like, okay, how long are they going to be? Oh, I'm not sure, darling, but you can have the Gassner for now. And the Gassner, I don't know if it really helped the pain relief, but it definitely helped me concentrate on my breathing a little bit better. Well, you're so chatty. And so yes, I'm still a bit not hysterical or anything, but I was just really I don't know, psyched up, a bit anxious, I guess, obviously in pain, trying to breathe, heart rate was going, and I must have said 5 minutes, oh sorry, that was my battery, not even 5 minutes later, it would have just been a couple of minutes, can I have the epidural yet? And she's going, oh, I'm not sure. And they knew very well that I don't think I was like 8, maybe 9 centimeters. I was more like 9, nearly 10 centimeters, and they knew that, and I was past my epidural time, but they didn't want to, stress me out or anything. So they were doing it the nice way, which was probably a good thing, because I probably would have just burst into tears if they said, no, darling, you can't have it. So anyway, I was breathing on the Gassner, and I must have only been in birth suite a total of 5 minutes, and in that time obviously all of that's happened, and then I was like, oh shit, I need to push. So I'm breathing on this Gassner, and I just had this need to push, which obviously I didn't experience with Wyatt. With the epidural, I got told when to push, so I pushed, and I was breathing on the epidural. I had my eyes closed, just concentrating on what I was doing. The feeling was really different. I mean, obviously it wasn't comfortable, but I would have said the contractions leading up to the pushing was far worse than the actual pushing itself and the pain of a person coming through the birth canal. I didn't find it as painful as you would have thought. I don't know, yeah, the contractions were worse than the actual pain of a person coming out of the other end. So yeah, I pushed, and in one contraction her head was out, and I could feel that, and I was trying to do that panting thing, so that her head didn't come out too fast, so that I didn't tear, but obviously with one contraction that was her head done. So I had another contraction about a minute later, and the rest of her was born. So she was born an hour and 15 minutes after my first contraction. We were only at the hospital about 10 minutes, and in birth suite 5 minutes. So everything happened really quickly. I did unfortunately have a little second degree tear, but it was fairly superficial, only just through the muscle layer. So that was, she was born at 1:45 a.m. and yeah, it was a really, really nice experience, especially versus the first time. She was born at 7.4 pounds, so she was just average, and yeah, they stitched me up. I had a little bit of bleeding. My uterus wasn't contracting properly, so they put me on a Oxytocin drip to contract my uterus, which was probably the most painful part of the whole experience, because they kept having to push on my uterus, and every time they did I had blood come out, but it was just obviously so sore, and they were pushing really hard to try and get it to contract along with the drip. So that was for 4 hours, but I managed to get up and have a shower like straight away before they started the drip, and we went up to the room, and she was really good. She latched, which is perfect because Wyatt didn't latch. He had a bit of a tongue tie, and she just went straight in for a good feed, and we discharged later that afternoon once I had finished the drip, and the physio had seen me, the paediatrician had seen her, because once you're on the ward they have to discharge you through all the different areas. But we were on track originally for a 4-hour discharge, which would have been so nice straight from birth suite, but we wanted to get home to Wyatt and just be in our own environment. It's a bit different, I guess, second time around. You're not learning everything for the first time, and yeah, so we came home that afternoon, which was amazing. And yeah, that's my birth and delivery story. It was a fairly positive experience, and I'm hoping that we have another positive experience like that if we choose to have any more children. And yeah, so meet my gorgeous girl. She's 10.5 weeks old now, and she is a little gem, and I'll do an update on her very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!